We have Honorable Ben Rowland on the phone. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good morning and welcome to the Weekend Show. So we're discussing the constitutional amendment ongoing, whether to amend or to create a new one. Nigerians all over have been calling, they have very diverse opinions on the subject matters. What is your opinion? Do you believe that it just simply needs to be amended, or do you believe that it needs to be scrapped in totality and a new constitution that reflects the true yearnings of Nigerians need to be drafted?
Thank you very much. First, before I go into the constitutional matter, I want to thank you and thank our brothers in the studio on the issue of this constituency project. I think they need to look at it. First, we must look at the very foundation of constituency project. Constituency project is not constitutional, but what about people that doesn't have a minister? We have one minister per state, in line with our federal character. And when we have those set of ministers and you don't have minister in your area, most times no government project don't even come. And you are the representative, the true representative of the people are the legislators. And that is why, in the wisdom of government, they decided to create some funds for these legislators to say, okay, nominate the projects. You don't collect money. It is wrong to say that they collect money. You don't collect money. It's not your responsibility. The executive also direct who should run the project, who should do the project, but because you are the representative of the people, you decide the project based on the needs assessment of the people. So that's one. Then on the Constitution, yes, we all know first we should look at when was this Constitution created. Like Mr. Speaker put it some days ago, the Constitution was created in a hurry. The military want to go, and they have to do something for Nigerians before they go. So let's not blame them too much. I don't think we should blame them. We should thank them that they meant to go and they actually left, and they left up with a defective constitution. And if we cannot muster the courage to say we are throwing that constitution away and bringing a fresh one, I think we should see how we can do this surgical operation from time to time till we get a perfect one. There's no law. The constitution is a law. There's no law that is watertight, that doesn't have issues. There must be a lacuna. Change the constitution today, bring a new one today. In the next 3-4 months, you will see an area that was never envisaged. So I think it is better with what we're doing. Let's just do it gradually with all sense of responsibility and fairness, looking at the state and what the realities of it speak for all of us. You can see the process now. The parliament is doing everything possible to carry all Nigerians along, to the extent that people are allowed, whatever you feel, should bring Nigeria as one, to bring Nigeria as a working state, because we all agree presently our country is not working, and there's need for us all to speak our mind. You can see there's one in Lagos where a man came and said, we need to change our name. We need to come as a united Nigeria. And everybody's speaking out. I was in Kano Zone, and somebody came to Kano Zone and said, well, there's need for us to bring back 1957 Constitution, because in 1957 Constitution, there's a provision for secession. That why did they remove it then? That we need to bring it. So Nigerians are speaking. What we're asking for is a constitution that is our own. Take ownership of the constitution. And now that people are beginning to get involved, I am sure at the end of the day, seeing the seriousness of the legislation. And again, people keep blaming the parliament. The executive has their portion. Nigerians should actually take the Nigerian project. It's not just looking at 469 people and say they should be the one to the executive president is running the government, like one of our brothers has said. They are running the government, they do what they like. So if we have done our bit and the president refused to sign, I think Nigerians should take ownership that this country belongs to all of us and force the president to sign what they want done for the country.
Honorable Ben, and I'll quote you with what you've just said. You said as we've all seen, Nigeria isn't doing great. Nigeria is failing right now, paraphrasing what you have said. There is little to no trust in leadership, and there's a lot of distrust from the people when it comes to situations like this. You being a sitting member of the House of Representatives, we have seen the National Assembly invite the president to the National Assembly, which he was advised not to come, and he didn't come. The current Senate has been alleged to be a rubber stamp by some quarters of Nigeria. And so if you in this position is also saying Nigerians have a role to play, Nigerians have elected representatives to represent them, but we now have the Constitution and we have clauses like immunity clauses for people in the executive. What has stopped the National Assembly to use its little powers to hold the current administration and the executive responsible? We have strike in the health sector, in the judiciary, in the National Assembly. What has the National Assembly done to regain the trust of the electorate in their elected representatives? How can you actually tell Nigerians how they shouldn't hold your legislature responsible?
Well, first I must agree with you partially, because we are all products of political parties. And I say it without fear of contradiction, that a lot of us are still slaves to political parties, where people give allegiance to parties instead of the nation. People should actually be standing for the country, not their political party. So most times you see issues come up and you see the party coloration coming in, ethnic coloration coming in. That's why I am one person that will advocate any time for independent candidature, because the moment you are in the party and something is happening, telephone calls come and they say, oh, this party wants to bring the government down. Oh, because this government is in power today, APC brought PDP with propaganda, they brought PDP down. For no, PDP wants to do it. And you see members of political parties taking a position, forgetting that we are supposed to be statesmen. On the issue of the invitation of Mr. President, the motion was taken. It was agreed. To date, I don't know why he didn't come. I know there was no explanation to Nigerians on why he didn't come, but nothing happened. And again, that is the part that Nigeria, when I say Nigeria take ownership of government and their representatives, it's not just, I'm not saying that we are free from it. The parliament is part of the government. Nigerians, there's no protest that come up in Nigeria that will not come to the National Assembly. And again, look at it. When the NSAS protest came, the Nigerians, our young men and women were speaking with one voice. It's just the coordination that got it wrong. And these are the kind of things, and you will never tell me the government was not shaken at that point. The government was ready to negotiate. The government was ready to say, what is the problem? Let us go into it. The president made some far-reaching promises, but unfortunately, maybe because of the fact that there was no leadership, there was nobody to discuss, they got it wrong at the point. So I believe that when we decide to speak as statesmen, when we decide to speak for Nigeria and not our ethnic nationality, and not for our state, and not for our party, the people get it right. I believe Nigeria has a lot to do, because the parliament, as far as I'm concerned, we're open doing our role, like the brother here said, we know our role. The role is for lawmaking, oversight, and representation. And that we are doing. We cannot act as member of parliament and act as member of the executive arm of government. We'll do our own and pass it on to the executive to do their bit. And when they are not doing it, that is where I expect Nigerians to rise up. When Mr. President was invited and refused to come, what did we say? Nobody said anything. Is it the 459 persons? Yes, we have certain powers in the Constitution. But again, look at the ruling party. If you look at the ruling party and the numbers, because in a democracy like the one we are doing, it's a matter of numbers. We don't have the numbers. We are in opposition, and whatever we do is look at, because it's an opposition member. I'm a straightforward person. I tell you the way it is. For few people that I have as my followers on Twitter, they know me. I speak my mind. When you do well, I tell you. If you don't do well, I tell you this is not right. And that is what we should do. Having come this far to the National Assembly, I believe I am a statesman already, and I should be speaking like a statesman, not as a political slave, where one party will hold me to the jugular that whatever you do at the National Assembly, you're going to be punished. People are being punished.
Honorable Ben, just to chip in real quick, you just mentioned you share your views on Twitter, and the federal government has banned Twitter indefinitely. What do you plan to do about that as a representative of the people?
You said? I didn't get
the federal government has banned Twitter indefinitely. As a representative and someone who uses Twitter, what do you intend to do about this in the coming weeks?
You know, it's a sad narrative. I still, even while I sit here, despite the fact that I've seen this Twitter from Garbachev or whoever sent it out, it's laughable and it's not what should be. We are in a country, we are in a modern country. We are not in the military era. We are not in the likes of Myanmar, where military men. I suppose whoever issued that is not Mr. President. That is
why? Sorry, Honorable, I have to interject. Why do we keep on shifting the buck from the table of the President? Why would you say that is not Mr. President? Does the Minister of Information and Culture have the right to just send out a fiat policy like that and ban social media?
And we have the President. We have the presidency and we have the President. So most times when the Presidency is speaking, I think that is Garbachev who's speaking.
No, it was the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who made that statement.
Those are the presidency. Those are the presidency.
And the presidency is different from the president.
That is the Nigerian style
and you lot as lawmakers are sitting down there still thinking that we're practicing a democracy. I mean, it goes to show that not only are all legislators failing at their job at instituting this so-called democracy that we're practicing in Nigeria, it also goes to show that you guys don't really know what you're doing as lawmakers. Because the country continues to decline into dictatorship, autocracy. And we're sitting down here saying the president is not aware that there's a difference between the presidency and the president. And we think this is okay. We think it's laughable. We're all here twiddling our thumbs and watching Nigeria deteriorate into, rubbish. So, and you as a lawmaker are here still making a case that it's not the president, it's the presidency. That is utter rubbish, Honorable.
Yes, that is where we find ourselves. And that is where I have said that the Nigerian people should take over the state. It's not just for 469 members.
Honorable, the last time they did that, people were shot on the streets, and which is still being denied. And so I understand when
freedom has never come easy. Freedom has never come
at the cost
easy.
of how many
freedom
lives?
Has never been free. And I think this is laughable for our country at this stage, in this present day, 2021. Somebody is banning Twitter just because he tweeted something that is against the Twitter community.
So what are you as a parliamentarian going to do about that?
If that has affected Nigerians as our rights, then the parliament has to rise up too. And that is not what we have to discuss now. We have our leadership, we have our meetings. We have to decide and look at it and say what can be done, what needs to be done, what needs to be prescribed. And definitely you'll hear from us. It was done yesterday. We've all been out on this constitution review issue, and we just got it. We have not reviewed, we've not started sitting, and when we sit, we'll definitely do our bit as legislators. But Nigerians should be ready to take their country. It's not just for 400, I keep repeating that.
All right, Honorable. Thank you.
What happens every day and nobody is saying anything. Four of us. Imagine what happened not too long ago about the Minister of
Communication.
Minister for the one that missed issue.
Yeah.
And Mr. President came, you can't talk to my minister.
This conversation will continue, and I look forward to you parliamentarians resuming and seeing what you will finally do about it. So rather than just talking, we look forward to some action. But Honorable, we'll have you back on the program again once you resume plenary, and we look forward to action once that happens. Thank you so much for your time. I'll give you the parting words, Honorable. I mean, this is your final words, please.
Honorable Ben spoke my mind to some extent. He was frank, but he showed hopelessness. That's the hopelessness I've been talking about all along. The constitutional review is good, but then how do we put it to works? It's hopelessness. Then you invite a president, you summon a president and then a minister who came under screening of the National Assembly, overrules what the National Assembly asks, and then everybody keeps quiet because of party affiliation, because of a fear of a certain leader of the party. And in fact, that is some of the fundamentals that we have gotten wrong. The president or governor are not supposed to be the leaders of the party. We have party chairmen, because you go to buy forms from those party chairmen, undergo screening from them, then you become a candidate of a party to contest election. When did you become
The leader.
The leader of the party. You see, these are the errors
Yes.
that we need to correct before we start talking about making the constitution have teeth, because the system has no teeth.
I completely agree with you. Thank you so much, Honorable,
Thank
for
you
your
very
time.
much.
Thank you so much to all our viewers for watching. The conversation never ends on your television screens. Do follow us on social media, apart from Twitter, since it's banned by Mr. President. Again, I will greet you, General Muhammadu Buhari. Well done. But in all seriousness, please, we need to change things. Nigeria cannot keep on deteriorating at the pace it is, because we will not have a country to call ours in the next few years or in the next few months even. Follow us on the existing social media pages as of today, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Weekend Show NG. Follow us at TOS TV Network as well, at Osasu Igbinadion.
Andy Madaki on Facebook and Instagram, and hopefully when Twitter gets back.
Yes, and read news on sustainable development on www.tostvnetwork.com. We'll see you same time, same place next week, and until then, keep protecting Nigeria.